Sammy has definitely committed a lot of outrageous and ridiculous crimes, but I think at this point, any ridiculous crime would be EJ's fault.
Thought my ears were burning.
Yeah, they should be. They were asking me about Sammy's ridiculous crimes, and I feel like obviously you would need to be present to answer that question.
Ridiculous crimes. Well, let's see. Should we go through? You shot me in the head. You set me on fire.
First of all, that wasn't ridiculous. That wasn't
entirely uncalled for. I'll give you that. But nonetheless, I think the bullet in the head was a little excessive.
Well, obviously you would.
I did. Yeah. When I came on the show, the driving force of my character was he was coming to have a relationship with you.
I think your driving force was that you were coming there to cause trouble for me.
Yes, through a relationship.
I like the way you rewrite
And that was
history.
just the sort of pattern that we started.
Yeah. So it's an interesting backstory because I feel like our characters have never actually been together. I mean, they've been together in the biblical sense, but they've never been a couple on the show. And yet there's this huge fan base, the EJamis.
I think it's interesting because you get different couples on the shows and they stay together and then they break up. But what makes EJ and Sam unique is that whether they stay together or they break up, they have to continue to have some communication. And if it can't be love,
in a good way,
it's
it's war. And from Sammy's perspective, he is the dark side. I mean, he is always what pulls her towards who she is, as opposed to who she strives to be, because she's always been told by her family that she needs to work harder and change who she is. And EJ is the first person to say, like, I don't want you to change.
And that's the fantastic thing about the dynamic is that I think EJ loves Samantha because she has those qualities, you know. So he doesn't want her to rid herself of any of those things. That is where her charm lies. And the great thing about the relationship from EJ's perspective is he doesn't have to pretend to be somebody he's not either. He's not a particularly nice guy. And I sort of get the feeling that you quite like that.
Yeah.
And EJ likes being able to be there. There's something about these two particular characters that is unique in the way in which they interact with one another. And I think that's why the fans like it, because it's a relationship that exists even when we're not really in a relationship.
Do you remember we were having this like fight in the middle of my apartment and I go to slap you and you say, I caught that one, and then you pull me in and there's all this like all of a sudden out of nowhere we're like mad as hell and you're saying terrible things to me and then we're about to like make out all of a sudden. And then I pull away and I'm like, oh my god, how does that happen? Keep your hands off me, buddy. Only these two could be like really legitimately angry and then turned into something else.
2 minutes later, we did that with quite grand effect once.
Yeah. On this very sofa. Yeah. They clean it, right? I think it's so cute that we're getting ready for Valentine's Day and Sammy finds that she's ready for the next step.
I know. I think it's one of those little things that sort of keep adding up that represents how this time it's different. Neither one of us is concealing information. We're both being more forthcoming with it and more upfront about our feelings to one another.
Did you say neither of us is concealing information? Is that what you just said? Because you're my witness, right? He just said that neither of us is. Pay attention. Keep this in your files, like bookmark it, and then we'll come back to this.
We're concealing less than we've ever concealed before from one another. This is the most functional relationship that we have ever had. Yes, in a relationship that's being characterized by nothing but dysfunction.
Right. Hold the phone for a second, because I think, actually, aside from that, we're also maybe the healthiest couple in Salem.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are.
How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, John and Marlena, tons of problems. Brady and Kristen, creepy. The whole Daniel, Chloe, whatever is happening.
That's still confusing.
Gabby, when is she going to get outed? Because honestly, Sammy never got away with this for that amount of time, the way that Gabby is.
Well, you know,
we're like the healthy, normal couple in Salem right now. How crazy is that?
That's scary.
They're like pigs flying somewhere right now. I feel like I want to say my favorite scene is a scene where, you know, EJ, like, do you remember when... I want to see, like...
My goodness, favorite.
Where were we?